Hey guys, today we're showing you some of the best money-making methods for early, mid, and late game for Hypixel Skyblock. Let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is all of the early game money-making methods. So for the first money-making method, you want to come over to Devan's Gateway over here. Those are the coordinates on the side. And you can grab any pickaxe. It can even be a wooden pickaxe. And you want to go over here and kill these glaciite walkers to have a chance of getting glaciite jewels from them and selling them on the bazaar for lots of money. So I'm going to switch to one of my early game profiles, as you can see right here. So that's so I can see how many glaciite jewels I drop. And you can see I only have 5.5 magic find right there. And I get an extra 19 magic find from glaciite walkers. So technically in total I get 24 magic find when killing glaciite walkers. Alright, now I'm going to start the 5-minute timer and see how many glaciite jewels I drop from the glaciite walkers. Alright, now we're done doing the 5-minute timer on killing the glaciite walkers, and we dropped 1 glaciite jewel. And if we multiply the 40k that we got from it times 12, that's going to be the money per hour, so that means it's going to be 480k per hour. Now this definitely is an RNG money-making method because you can definitely drop like 2 or 3 in 5 minutes, which will probably add a lot more money per hour than just, 1. But also at the same time, it's not too bad of a money-making method since all you really need is a wooden pickaxe and then some armor so we can tank the glaciite walkers. But there's definitely going to be some better early game money-making methods in this video. Alright, so the next money-making method is going to the glowing mushroom cave with mobby shears and mining these glowing mushrooms right here to get, well, a glowing mushroom. And if you go over to mobby over here, you can see there's a bunch of cool items you can craft with full chum buckets and glowing mushrooms. Now it is a little bit cheap to make these empty chum buckets and to make full chum buckets, so we're going to see how many glowing mushrooms I can get in 5 minutes. Alright, now the 5-minute timer is up and we can see how many glowing mushrooms we got. And we got 370 glowing mushrooms, which we can sell on the bazaar for 200k, or sell off for it for 316k. So if we insta-sold it for 200k, we would be getting 2.4 million coins an hour. And if we sell offered it and it filled, we would be making 3.6 million coins an hour. Now, of course, you can trade these glowing mushrooms for empty chum buckets and buy the glowing mush mix right here, which sells for 900k, or the chumming talisman right here, which sells for 300k. Now we're gonna buy 32 buckets right here, just like that, and we still have 114 glowing mushrooms left over. But now we're gonna go on the bazaar and buy some chum right here. We're gonna buy 32, and it's gonna be the same amount as the chum bucket right here. It actually requires 10 chum to fill up 1 chum bucket, so we're gonna have to buy a lot more chum. So just for the empty chum buckets, we spent around 64k, not including the glowing mushrooms that we just harvested, and we also spent 1k to make the full chum buckets right here. So we can buy a chumming talisman right here, and we can sell it for around 350k on the auction house. So if we got 1 chumming talisman in every 5 minutes, we'd be making 4.2 mil per hour. Now, of course, you can probably get some more glowing mushrooms and more chum buckets to save up for the glowing mush mix right here, which sells for around 900k on the auction house right now. So this money making is definitely really good for early game players. Just make sure you use mobby's shears, that's the way you get +1 glowing mushroom whenever you harvest them, because farming fortune does not affect how many glowing mushrooms you get. Now the next money making method is in the end, and you can head over to the dragon's nest and kill zealots with the aspect of the dragons and some wise dragon armor, so we have some more mana, and you can kill these guys so we can get the rare summoning eye item, which you can sell for 1.1 mil or sell offer for 1.2 mil. You can also increase the chance of getting a rare zealot by going down here and talking to this NPC right here and spending dragon essence on the zealot luck right here, which gives you more chances of finding a special zealot, which means you can get some more summoning eyes. All you really need for this is an aspect of the dragons, some wise dragon armor, or even a frozen scythe as well. Now the next money making method is really simple, and you can buy items from the bazaar and forge it into items and then resell it back into the bazaar. So for example, I can buy 2 enchanted diamond blocks for 400k and then forge it right here for 8 hours and make around 150k profit right here off of it. And you can do other items like refined mithril, refined titanium, and fuel canisters right here. But this method is really easy for some free money while you're doing other things in Skyblock. So next money making method is really simple. It is buying and flipping items on the bazaar. So for example, you can buy Enchanted Snow right here, and you can buy a stack for 35k. And after you bought it just like that, you can go to an NPC and sell it for 38k. So that's around 1 or 2k profit just from doing that. Or buying items like the Enchanted Emerald. As you can see, for create a buy order, the number is lower than for create a sell order, so that means you can make a profit. So I'm going to buy a stack of Enchanted Emeralds, and now that I have the stack of emeralds, I can actually sell off for it for 66k. So whenever I buy ordered it, I paid around 43k, and I sold it for 66k, so that means I got like around 20k profit from that. But before you do it, you probably want to see how many people are making buy orders and sell offers, so we can see if it's most likely to sell and buy that item fast. So like with Enchanted Diamonds, as you can see, this is a very popular item, and that it probably will fill up my buy orders really fast and sell orders. So next money making method is mining these sea lemmies in the Galatea for some coins. So I'm going to be using my diver armor right here and a frog pet right here for some more respiration. I'm going to have a little bit of my Heart of the Forest perks into collector right here. And this shard right here, which gives me 100% chance to drop double berries. Also, there isn't any tools that I know of to get more sea lemmies, so I'm just going to be punching it with my Aspect of the Void. So now I'm going to start a 5-minute timer and see how much money I make in 5 minutes. Alright, now the 5-minute timer is up, so let's see how much we got. So we got a total of 1,254 right here. And with this, you can sell it for 480k for insta-sell, which means you'll be making 5.7 mil an hour. But if you sell off of them, you'll be making around 8.4 million coins an hour. But if we turn them into enchanted pickles, just like this, you can insta-sell 7 enchanted pickles right here for 500k, which would be 6 mil an hour. But if you sell offer it, it would be around 7.2 mil coins an hour. So this is also a pretty good money making method, but it does kind of require diver armor, which is around like 5 or 4 mil to get the full entire set to actually do this money making method. So next money making method is sludge mining, and what you need for this is some mineral armor so we can get some more mining spread right here, and a jungle pickaxe right here so we can drop the sludge juice. And if I go to the Heart of the Mountain perks right here, you want to upgrade mole right here so we can get some more mining spread when mining hardstone. And as you can see on my stats right here, I have 279 mining spread, so we're going to see how much sludge juice I get in 5 minutes. So the 5-minute timer is up, so we're going to see how much sludge juice I got from that. So right here you can see I got 441 sludge juice. And I can insta-sell that for 500k, which would be around 6 mil an hour. Or I can sell offer it for 550k, which that would be around 6.6 mil an hour. Also, this isn't including the hardstone I was mining out, since I didn't really know if I had any in my mining sack right here. But you can probably get some extra money from hardstone as well. So that's all of the early game money making methods I have to show, and this one's going to be the best one out of all the ones I have shown. Alright, now it's time for me to show you all of the mid-game money-making methods. So for the first mid-game money-making method, we're going to be doing something in dungeons called fragment running. And we're going to be trying to drop these 2 fragments right here so we can make a lot of money. And when you're doing something like fragment running, you can use a giant sword, juju bow, or spirit scepter so you can clear the rooms super fast. So depending on what kind of weapon you use, you probably want to use a certain type of armor. So like if you're using a giant sword or a juju bow, you want to probably use your Necron set of armor. But if you're using a Spirit Scepter or any kind of mage item that requires mana, you probably want to use your Storm armor right here. But all you really need to do is go to F7 and Q in just like this by yourself. And once the run starts, you want to try to get to the blood room as fast as you can. And once you get into the blood room, you want to wait for a giant mob to spawn in here so we can kill it and get the fragment. And then once the giant spawns and you kill it, you're going to warp out to like the hub or the dungeon hub. So right here, that giant right there was probably the laser eye giant. So after we killed it, now we're going to go back to the dungeon hub. But I'm going to start doing fragment running for 5 minutes and we're going to see how much money I make. Also, just so you know, these zombies right here are the ones that drops the handle and the laser eye, which is the ones that sells for a lot of money. So I was able to do like around 3 runs, and I was able to get a handle and an eye from them. So the handle right here sells for around 770k, and the eye sells for around 1 mil. And if we add them both, that's going to be 1.7 mil, and the money per hour is 21 mil per hour with this method. Also, this is an RNG money making method, so that means you're not guaranteed to make 1 mil every 5 minutes. Also, if you do use a Juju bow, be sure you use bouncy arrows, that's so we can clear the rooms super fast. So next money making method is mining. So for this setup, you probably want to use a gemstone gauntlet right here, since it gives a pretty good amount of mining speed right there and a bit of mining fortune, with some sorrow armor right here for some more mining speed and mining fortune, or you can even use yog armor for a cheaper set than sorrow armor. You can also apply this reforge right here, which gives you some more mining speed and mining wisdom, and some more mithril powder when mining titanium. And you can use a silverfish pet, a mithril golem pet, or a Scatha pet, which I don't have right now. And you can also use the titanium equipment right here. So for this test, I'm going to be using the silverfish pet, my sorrow armor, and gemstone gauntlet. And with all of that, I have 5,000 mining speed and 792 mining fortune. So up here above the Divan's gateway area, we're going to be mining this mithril spot, and we're going to see how much money I get in 5 minutes. Alright, so the time is up, so it's time to see how much money I made in 5 minutes. Alright, so I enchanted everything, so we got 24 enchanted titanium and 235 enchanted mithril. So the mithril sells for 320k, and the enchanted titanium sells for 400k. And that's 720k in total, so you'll be making around 8.6 mil an hour with this method. So for the next money making method is slayers. You could probably do revenant, spider, or wolf slayers with Necron or Crimson armor. And you probably want to use a sword that goes with that slayer, so for Revenant, you probably want to use the Reaper Falchion. And for Spider, you probably want to use something like the Sting, because both of those items give you more damage and combat wisdom when killing that specific slayer's mob. Or you can probably use a giant sword, for example, but I don't really know how good it is because I didn't test it out. But of course, you're going to be getting rare drops from these slayers, like the Warden Heart right here, which is around 70 mil, the Shard of the Shredded, which is around 7 mil, the Severed Hand right here, which is around 6 mil, and the Scythe Blade, which is around 7 mil, or even a simple drop like this one right here, which is around 1 mil. For Spider Slayer, you can drop items like the Primordial Eye right here, the Shriveled Wasp, the Tarantula Talisman, Vial of Venom, and Digested Mosquito right here. So these 4 items right here can be dropped at around tier 4 and tier 3 Spider Slayer, but the expensive items like the Primordial Eye and the Shriveled Wasp are going to require tier 5 Spider Slayer. Her next money making method is dungeons, and the floors you can be doing is floor 5, floor 6, or floor 7. On floor 5 you can drop items like the Livid Dagger, which is around 5 mil, the Shadow Fury, which is around 17 mil, the Shadow Assassin Chestplate, which is around 7 mil, and Recombobulator, which is around 10 mil. For floor 6, a Precursor Eye, which is around 20 mil, a Giant Sword, which is around 70 mil, and Necromancer Lord Chestplate, which is around 7 mil. For floor 7, you can drop items like an Auto Recombobulator, which is around 10 mil, a One For All book, which is around 1 mil, the Hyperion Scrolls right here, which is around 200 mil, and of course Necron's Handle, which is around 380 mil. And of course you want to check how much it costs to open the chest before you buy the items, that's so you can see if you make profit before selling them. So for the next money making method is farming. Now with farming, you could probably use any farming armor like Crappie or Melon armor, with this reforge right here which gives you 8 farming fortune, with an elephant pet or anything that gives a lot of farming fortune. And also for equipment, you can use this equipment that you can buy in the Sky Mart shop, and you can eventually upgrade it to the Blossom equipment right here. And of course, you want to use the right tools for the right crops, like for the pumpkins, you want to use the pumpkin dicer right here, and for mushrooms, you want to use the fungi cutter right here. And I'm pretty sure you can farm something like melons and pumpkins, netherwort, or mushrooms for a lot of money, but obviously you can check the bazaar right here and see what the best thing is that you can farm and craft to the highest rarity and sell for a lot of money. And also while you're farming, be sure to do Jacob contests, because you can sell these Jacob tickets for a lot of coins. So the next money making method is fishing. Now there's a lot of things that you can get for fishing. Now you can use shark armor or the lava set for fishing speed and sea creature chance. Also, if you're wondering what the lava set is, it's slug boots, Mugma leggings, flaming chest plate, and this helmet right here. And it only costs around 500k to buy the lava set. So the order for buying all these fishing armor sets with your fishing level is shark armor is first, and then the lava set is next, and then the thunder armor is last. You can also use this equipment right here for some more fishing speed, and you can also use a thunder necklace as well for some more sea creature chance. With the snowy reforge, that's so we can get some more fishing speed and sea creature chance. For pets, you can use a flying fish pet, obviously like a legendary one or an epic one, for fishing speed, or the ammonite pet for some more sea creature chance right here. Now the stuff you want to fish for lava fishing is thunders, which you need fishing level 36. I need to unlock the bronze fish tier right here, that's so we can unlock the thunder sea creature under trophy fish fishing rewards right here. There's also these fiery crabs right here, which require fishing level 37 and a fishing hotspot to fish up. But the main drop you want from them is these shards that you can get, which you can sell for a lot of money, or the flash book right here, which sells for 4.3 mil or 4.5 mil. And for the fiery crabs, you want these two items right here. This one sells for around 3 mil, and this one sells for around 8 mil. And for water fishing, you want to fish up this snake right here, which if you drop this item from it, you can sell it for 70 or 90 mil. And to fish it, all you need is fishing level 30, and you need to fish in the backwater bayou. And that's going to be it for the mid-game money-making methods I have to show. Out of the ones I tested, this one's the best, but the other ones I didn't test can still be good. And now it's time for the late game money making methods. So for the first one is Slayers, and you could do stuff like the Blaze Slayer or Enderman Slayer. You want to use a Crimson armor set with the Warden helmet for the most damage. And for the weapon, you want to use the right Slayer weapon. So for Blaze Slayer, you want to use the Blaze Slayer weapon, and for Enderman, you want to use an Atom Split Katana. For drops, you want to get a high-class Archfiend dice right here, which is around 30 mil, a regular Archfiend dice, which is around 4 mil, a Duplex book, which is around 1 mil, but the best item is obviously the high-class Archfiend dice for around 30 mil, and it doesn't really require that much RNG meter progress to drop it. For Enderman, you want to drop a Judgment Core, Summoning Eye, an Endstone Idol right here, or this Ender Artifact upgrade right here, which is around 20 mil. For Enderman, you want to use a bow with explosive arrows, that's so you can get through the hits phase really fast, or use summons to get through the hits phase. And then you want to use your Atom Split Katana to do damage to it with an Ender Dragon or a Golden Dragon pet. For Blaze Slayer, you want to use those two daggers that I mentioned earlier, and you want to have a Golden Dragon pet or a Blaze pet for some more damage. And you can use one of the cheese spots like the Skull spots or the Fiery Pillar spot. I'll probably be doing a guide on these Slayers later in the future, so be sure to look out for that. So the next money making method is Infernal Kudra. Now you can probably use Fiery Terror Armor with a Warden Helmet, and you probably need a Terminator so you can do damage to the boss whenever it's stunned, with Toxic Arrow Poison, and a Hyperion to clear the mobs that try to kill you. Now I don't really know how good Lifeline is compared to Dominance anymore, because people say that Lifeline got nerfed, but I'm going to show you the Lifeline setup anyway. Now you can probably use the Molten equipment so you can do more damage to Kudra, but the main equipment piece you want to use is Lava Shell Necklace right here, since it prevents you from healing. And you want that because when you're under 20% maximum HP, you do more damage. And you can probably use the Staff of the Volcano and Wand of Strength, that's so you can lower your health a lot, that's where you're under 20% HP for the more damage. And you can use a Ragnarok, that's so you can do more damage whenever you're charging it. And you want to use an Endstone Sword, because when you use mana, it activates Ferocious Mana right here, which lets you get more ferocity whenever people use mana around you. And you want to do all this whenever you're teleporting to the final phase of Kudra. Now I don't really know how good the setup is anymore, because people say Lifeline got nerfed and Dominance is better, so it might be best to look up an Infernal Kudra guide on YouTube. And next money making method is back to fishing, and at this point you probably want to upgrade your armor to Magmar Lord armor right here, and have a Hellfire Rod right here. And the sea creatures you're going to be fishing up is Jabus and Ragnarok right here. And from Jabus, you have a chance of dropping a Radioactive Vial right here, which sells for around 50 to 60 mil. Or you have a chance of dropping a Magmar Lord fragment, which can sell for 4 mil and 5 mil. And from the Ragnarok, you can drop Burnt Text right here, which is around 20 mil. To fish up Jabus, you need to be in the Crimson Isle and be fishing level 45, and have this rank for Trophy Fisher, that's so you can fish them up. For Ragnarok, you need to be fishing level 47, and you need to be fishing in the Crimson Isle at a fishing hotspot. For water fishing, you can fish up this mob right here, which has the chance of dropping a Tiki Mask right here, which sells for 120 mil. To fish it up, you need to be fishing level 40, and you need to fish in water at a fishing hotspot. And it doesn't say you have to be in the backwater bayou, so I guess you can fish it anywhere. And you can probably use a Mythic Flying Fish with Burnt Text, so you can get some double hook chance, or I can use the Ammonite pet for some more sea creature chance. And at the beacon over here, you can set your profile stat to tracking stats so we can get rare mobs a lot easier when fishing. So next my making method is leveling up a dragon pet to level 100 or 200. For example, I'm going to be doing the golden dragon pet. So right here I can buy the golden dragon egg right here for 600 mil. And you can level it up to 100, that's so you can get 40 mil profit right there. Or you can level up to 200 right here and get 200 mil profit since you can sell it for 800 mil. Now the best ways to level up the golden dragon are floor 6, or Master Mode 6 and killing the golems there for combat XP, or going to the Smoldering Tomb and killing these blazes right here. Whenever I kill one, I get 900 combat XP, which can be a lot for the golden dragon, since there's a whole lot of blazes in here that you can kill. Or you can go to the magma cube chamber over here and kill these flares, but these give 300 combat experience, so the Smoldering Tomb blazes are going to be better. Or you can use a combat minion that gives you a lot of combat experience per day, so that's when you log on, you can level up your golden dragon pet a little bit per day. So next my making method is killing ghosts with crimson armor, and probably a claymore or a giant sword, but I have none of those, so I'm going to be using a Hyperion. But the main drops you want from them is Sorrow right here, which you can sell for 155k or 200k. Now you probably can use a golden dragon right here for some more magic find and damage, or you can use a Mithril Golem right here for some more combat stats and magic find on mining islands. But I'm going to be using my golden dragon pet since that gives me more magic find, and I'm going to do a 5-minute test to see how much money we make. Alright, so the 5-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much money we made. So here's all the stuff we dropped right here, and it all equals around to 620k, so that'll be around 7.4 million coins an hour. I probably would have gotten a lot more money if I dropped a lot more Sorrow, of course, because this definitely is an RNG money making method, and only had around 187 magic find when dropping items, so that's not really a whole lot. But the best late game money making method is probably going to be Kudra or Slayer, since you're able to get a lot of rare drops from them, and because Crimson Essence sells for a lot. But that's going to be it for the early, mid, and late game money making methods video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for some more amazing videos.